What's good, everybody, and welcome into the first episode ever of Betting the PFL. We called the bosses. We said, we got to take it a step further in 2024, and that's exactly what we're going to do. As always, my partner, Ian Parker, I am the coach, and this is history in the making. The first time ever, the PFL against Bellator live this Saturday, February 24th, only on ESPN pay-per-view, DAZN pay-per-view. And Ian, the pay-per-view card, every single fight is a PFL fighter against a Bellator fighter. This is literally, we can't say it enough, history in the making.
You know, Coach, when PFL bought Bellator, they said, we're going to go big. We're not going to start slow. We're just going to press on the gas pedal. And the first card, we are getting champion versus champion, PFL versus Bellator. This has never happened before. We are going to make history, and we're going to do it in Riyadh. I am pumped. Let's go.
Yeah, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's kind of become the combat capital of the world. But you better not show up late on Saturday, because the early card, bangers too. We've got a professional debut that we've been waiting for, and also Claressa Shields. She wants to be legit in the world of MMA.
I give Claressa Shields a lot of credit, being at the top of boxing and then essentially starting over. She's had mixed success so far, and she's got an opponent who knows her well in the boxing world. The question is, will Claressa Shields be ready to become a full-time MMA fighter? She says she is. I believe her. We're going to get a chance to find out and see where her skills are at.
Our phones have been absolutely blowing up, and the bosses called us, says, Coach, there's a little added something special. Take a look at these. These are the Super Fights belts, and part of these belts, there are rings in them. Whoever wins gets to take them home. How cool are these?
It's pretty cool. You know what? When you see these, you think Super Bowl, you think big, you think spectacular, you think magic. And Coach, most of all, you think special. And that's what this event is really going to be.
You used the word big. Well, a few weeks ago at the press conference, everybody wanted to be part of the main event, but there can be only one, and it's big time. Renan Ferreira, 19 career fights, taking on a guy with more than double those amount of fights, a man who's taken on all comers in his career, Ryan Bader. The comparison is incredible.
You know what? For Ryan Bader, this is an interesting challenge. He's taking on someone much younger. I'm not so worried about the experience, but just the size is just truly going to be something he's going to have to deal with. And for Renan Ferreira, let's call it what it is. This is the biggest name that could possibly be added to his resume. And what better place to do it than on the biggest stage of all in Saudi Arabia? I'm excited for this main event.
Now, no matter when you're watching this Betting the PFL show, the odds are going to be rolled out on DraftKings Sportsbook throughout the week. So we encourage you to bet these whenever they come out. Let's go to the early cards. We'll get to every single fight on the card. And we're going to start with a guy that basically wants to knock everybody out. But the question is, can Mr. Al-Qahtani get the knockout this weekend?
Oh, for sure he can, and I think he will. We've seen him twice now with the PFL. He keeps getting better. He's got incredible cardio, good poise, good skills everywhere. I truly believe this is a showcase fight for him. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. Al-Qahtani to get it done by TKO or KO. That's where my money is going, Coach.
When you're a hometown favorite in something this big in Saudi Arabia, they're going to be popping from the beginning. Now, Claressa Shields, I mentioned that press conference a couple weeks ago. She was actually very, very humble. And she said she's making progress. She knows she has work to do. This is going to be a really good test for her on Saturday.
Coach, this is probably the right fight for her. Someone else who's a striker. And therefore, if she wants to wrestle, she might actually have the edge here. And this is going to give her an opportunity to feel a little bit more comfortable than she has in other fights. I think Claressa has every opportunity here to get it done. However, I don't see the knockout happening yet. I think with MMA, it's a little different than boxing. I could see her getting it done and winning by decision.
Oh, very interesting. Win by decision. His second pick from the early card. Now, we've had a few fights that have been moved around. A couple of guys had to come off. And because of that, we've got a pretty cool matchup, a rematch from 2019. But when you look at stars in the making, the last name Pico always seems to come out of everybody's mouth.
And rightfully so. Aaron Pico is one of those fighters, the background from wrestling and boxing. You know, when he first started off at Bellator, he lost to someone where he was supposed to demolish, even starting off. Then he had a few fights under his belt, fighting correctly, not rushing him. Then he ran into this gentleman, Henry Corrales. This is a fight that Pico wants to get back. He probably wasn't expecting it, but he's probably licking his chops saying, you know what? This is the one. I'm going to get it done and show everyone that I'm the real deal. Coach, I think Aaron Pico is a true blue chip prospect. And as tough as Henry Corrales is, I got Pico in this one.
Speaking of special, speaking of big time, speaking of a guy, me and Ian have been here for a few years, and he's been an amateur. 6 straight knockouts, 5 here in the PFL, 3 in the first round. He is the grandson of the great Muhammad Ali, Biagio Ali Walsh. If you don't know about this kid, let us show you.
The grandson of the legendary Muhammad Ali.
You know, everyone knows you're Muhammad Ali's grandson. There's a lot of pressure on your name.
The pressure is gonna always be there. How you deal with the pressure is what's more important.
Oh, what a shot! Oh, that's it. That'll do it! Biagio Ali Walsh unleashes hell! Oh, that hurt him. The right hand lands! There he goes! Biagio Ali Walsh takes the stoppage!
We've heard you may be thinking about turning pro. Do you feel ready?
Oh, and that'll do it! Biagio Ali Walsh! My goodness!
I'm gonna fight again, and then after that, I'm gonna fight again, and then after that, I'm gonna fight again. Make a name for myself.
Oh, he's out! My goodness, what a knockout!
I'm gonna make my own legacy.
A superstar in the making. Biagio Ali Walsh.
Ian, I don't think it can be overstated, the hype around this kid, how humble this kid has been, but now he goes from amateur to pro, and this will be one of the most hyped debuts we've ever seen.
Coach, I give Biagio Ali Walsh a lot of credit here. He is truly humble, and even though he's got the Ali name behind him, he's trying to make a name for himself. The way he fights, it's aggressive. He is kill or be killed while trying to hone in his skills and be a little poised. I'm very excited for him. What's crazy, he's also a very good wrestler. He's very well-rounded, but just like his grandfather, he goes for the knockout, and we've seen plenty of those. I'm looking forward to see if he can do it again in his pro debut. I'm excited for it. This kid's the real deal.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see if this thing goes a little bit past the first round. How will he handle it? Will he be a very patient fighter? So there's a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention on this kid heading into Saturday. All right, let's switch gears now and head to the pay-per-view card. And we cannot start with a more, I guess, difference of styles, but an absolute blue-collar type of guy. And I'm talking about Clay Collard. And he's taking on AJ McKee from Bellator. And you know Collard's going to stand there. He's going to bang. He's going to say, you hit me, I hit you. How do you see this one?
Well, Coach, people are calling this the people's main event, and for great reason. You have the young gun in Antonio McKee Jr. You got Clay Collard, who is must-see TV every time he fights. You know, based on the odds where they currently sit, it's hard to not want to take a flyer on Clay Collard just because you know he's going to be in rounds 2 and 3. For McKee Jr., if he can't get this fight to the floor and catch a submission, I think he's going to have a little bit of trouble with cardio in rounds 2 and 3. I'm taking a flyer on Clay Collard here, Coach. I think he's going to press that gas pedal 3 rounds and go to the body, but he has to keep the fight standing because McKee Jr. is extremely dangerous on the ground, especially when he's on top.
Yeah, the story behind Clay Collard is his personal life has been amazing. So much heartbreak, and he's been able to fight through it. And just another chance for him to tell his story and for us to tell his story on Saturday. Now, sometimes when you have 2 fighters, Ian, that have similar styles, then sometimes they can take a little while to get going. I'm talking about Santos and Romero. That'll be the second fight on the pay-per-view card. Do you think this one could go the distance?
It really shouldn't. Okay, when you have 2 guys like this, it really shouldn't. But Yoel Romero, first off, I think he's 46 years old. He's got the body of a 23-year-old, and he still fights as if he hasn't aged a day. It's incredible. What concerns me with Yoel Romero, though, is that his bread and butter is his wrestling, but he doesn't do it. And against Thiago Santos, if he puts Santos on his back, he's good. But more than likely, he's just going to stand and bang, and that's where it favors Thiago Santos. So what I would do is I would lean towards Santos, okay? But we may have something special for you on a Romero prop later on.
Oh, look at the tease from Mr. Ian Parker. Speaking of something special, before we get to the rest of the pay-per-view card, DraftKings Sportsbook has been amazing to partner with us this year, and they have a very special offer just for you.
Tonight, it's PFL Champs versus Bellator Champs, and DraftKings is inviting you to get in on this epic event. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in bonus bet. If your first bet doesn't hit when you deposit, just $5. So even if you take one on the chin, DraftKings got your back. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code PFL and lock in a no-sweat bet. The crown is yours.
We said at the top, betting the PFL. This is champ versus champ. This next fight is exactly what we're talking about. Bruno Cappellosa, 2021 champion, against Vadim Nemkov, moving up from light heavyweight, former champion of Bellator, to play with the big boys. So the question is, Ian Parker, when you move up to heavyweight, is there enough power to knock out Mr. Cappellosa?
Oh, yes. If you talk about Vadim Nemkov, 1,000%. This is someone who could have won the belt in Bellator. Heavyweight, light heavyweight, it didn't matter. He's got a great chin, good wrestler, good striking. This is going to be a very interesting fight because for Bruno Cappellosa, if he does not land early, he has got to be able to find a way to not get put on his back. That's exactly where Nemkov is going. I'm excited for this fight. We haven't seen Bruno in over a year, but we know what he brings. He is the master of violence. However, I hate to do this. I'm going to take Nemkov here. He's just so good everywhere. And we've seen what happens with Cappellosa. Number one, when he doesn't like to get hit. Number two, when he gets thrown off his game, he gets lost really quick. I'm going Nemkov here.
How dare you be objective when you're wearing a PFL hat, Ian Parker?
Crazy.
You know who signed your paychecks? But that's okay. That's okay. This next fight, this is fascinating because we know how good Ray Cooper can be. 2019, 2021, he was a PFL champion. But the last couple of years, we haven't seen the best of Ray Cooper. And when he walks in on Saturday against Jason Jackson, who's a current Bellator champion, he better bring his best.
Yeah, you know what, Coach? I might have to put a Bellator hat on right now because I'm going that way again. Look, my issue with Ray Cooper III is we don't know who we're getting. You know, we've seen Ray Cooper. We know what he's capable of. He is capable of knocking out every weight class, any person on the planet. But is he going to be there? Is he going to come in shape? Is he going to make weight? Is he taking this seriously? Because if not, Jason Jackson's coming off arguably the best performance of his career where he dethroned Amosov. And it was truly a thing of beauty because not only did he win, he knocked him out. Jason Jackson is so good everywhere. I think Jason Jackson not only wins here, Coach, I think he finishes Ray Cooper inside the distance.
Jason Jackson is so confident. He's so almost borderline on arrogant, but when you're in the fight game, you absolutely have to be. Now, when you're talking about the fight game, there's going to be fights that come off the board all the time, but sometimes you might get matchups that are better than the original fight, and that's what I'm talking about with our next one. From the PFL, Gabriel Braga is now going to be facing maybe a man who has the best name in all of MMA, Patricio Pitbull. And when you're Mr. Pitbull and you're preparing for a different fighter and then it changes in your mind, does it make a difference?
Two totally different fighters in Pinedo and Braga. I think this is actually a better matchup for Pitbull because originally I was going to take Pinedo, no questions asked after what he's done. He was going to have the range. He was going to have the cardio, the strength, the power. Pinedo is serious. However, Braga is a very suitable opponent here. Braga beat Pinedo in the first time they fought. I'm going to take a flyer here on Gabriel Braga. People may think I'm crazy based on what they saw at Pinedo, but we've seen what Braga can do overall. I think Pitbull's been around a long time, and Coach, Father Time never loses. I'm going to go with Braga here. I think his kickboxing is better. I think he can also wrestle if need be in a 3-round fight. Let's go with Braga.
It is now time for the co-main event of the evening. And if you're talking 2023 PFL and maybe the surprise of the year, you'd have to go straight to Impa Kasanganay. But then on the other side, Johnny Eblen, a lot of people feel like he could be the best at his weight class in the entire world, regardless of who you're talking about. These two, they're fighting for a super fight belt with a ring. Let's break it down.
Impa Kasanganay, 14 pro victories in his career. He's found a new year for finishes here in the PFL.
The power of the reigning and defending Bellator middleweight champion, Johnny Eblen. Johnny Pressure's the one to pour it on.
Going at 185 in Johnny's so-called weight class. When I claimed that victory, he was the real Bellator champion.
I am better than Impa in every facet of the game. I'm just a different animal.
Oh! Tokov gets dropped by the right hand from Eblen. Eblen's going to unload and lands a nice combination.
Kasanganay understands the assignment here to take Karen out of this round. Oh, big shot! Isis Marvin Eblen! There's that left hand that we're talking about.
The right hook by Edwards goes down. Johnny Eblen pouring on the pressure and the ground, and he's out.
looking fatigued. He's looking very fatigued.
He's got it.
He's got it in tight.
I don't care if I'm tired, I don't care if I'm sick, I don't care if I'm hurt. I'm on a path.
I think I'm one of the best in the world, if not the best.
I don't even think we need to hype this fight up. These two guys both are elite. They're in form. They've never looked better. But what do you see, Ian?
Coach, with Impa Kasaganai, he's had such a resurgence. You know, the PFL rebirthed him, and it's been a fantastic story. And when he won, he even called out Francis Ngannou. He's on top of the world. He feels like he could just beat anybody. However, he's standing in front of arguably the number one middleweight on planet Earth in Johnny Eblen, regardless of organization. Eblen is good on the feet. He's fantastic with his wrestling. His cardio is just don't stop, won't stop. And for Impa, he's going to have to be able to do all that for 15 minutes. Now, based on his fight against Silveira, it looks like he could do that. But Silveira didn't push the pace the way Eblen would. So I like Johnny Eblen here, Coach, and I like him to get it done by decision.
And you know Johnny Eblen never shies away from the attention. Give it all to me. I want all the smoke. And he's going to get it all this Saturday live on pay-per-view. Now, it's time to talk about the co-main event of the evening. You mentioned the word Francis Ngannou. He's a heavyweight. So are these two. Mr. Reynal Ferreira, big time. Then Ryan Bader always seems to shock the world. Just when you think that he can't get it done, just when you think maybe he's not big enough, he shows the world that he is big enough. Give me your take.
For Ryan Bader, there is a path to victory here. All right, it's take the fight to the ground, use your wrestling, and either drag Ferreira into deep waters or finish it while you're there. Now, Coach, if you would have asked me about this fight prior to Ferreira's last fight against Denis Goltsov, I would have picked Ryan Bader without even batting an eyelash. However, I'm changing it up here because Renan Ferreira was able to survive that first round when Goltsov took him down. And what did he do when he got into the next round? He knocked out Goltsov. Ryan Bader has been knocked out before. He does not have a great chin. He's very hittable. And his takedowns have become a little bit predictable as he's gotten older and a little bit slower. La Problema right now, Renan Ferreira is sitting as the underdog at plus money odds. PFL, baby. Give me Renan Ferreira on this one. Let's go.
All right. There's a lot of people out there watching right now that they say, hey, I love to bet me a good prop. Now, everything's going to be changing throughout the week according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, as the props start to come out, kind of give me three that you're going to have your eye on.
Let's start off with the Johnny Eblen fight. I do think he gets it done. I think Impa Kasanganay, outside of a spinning, crazy knockout that he faced to the hands of Joaquin Buckley, he just doesn't get finished. He's extremely durable. So I would like to see Johnny Eblen, what the odds would be on him to win by decision. Aaron Pico gets Henry Corrales. Pico is a finishing machine. The boxing is there. He goes to the body with that left hook. Let's look at Aaron Pico at a KO or TKO situation. And last but not least, that main event. You're already getting plus odds on Ferreira. Let's see if we can get at him to win by TKO or KO.
But, Ian, I need you to keep my interest. I need to see something throughout the pay-per-view that says, yeah, I see that one, I see that one, I see that one. Oh, we like to call that a little Parker's Parlay. Talk to me.
Coach, we're going to go Aaron Pico. We're going to go Nemkov. We're going to go Eblen. All these odds are going to be a little bit on the higher side, especially Pico. Someone in Nemkov and Eblen, you're going to find probably the high -2 to low -3s. Put them together, we're going to get plus odds. Let's put those three together for Parker's Parlay for this event.
Yeah, only in MMA can you put guys together and odds. You may not have the best odds, but you got to do it to bring those odds down. Now, this would not be history in the making without a bold, and I mean bold, prediction from the Duck and the Duck Army. Where are you going this time?
Speaking of Army, I'm going to salute because that's what the soldier of God, Yoel Romero, does before every fight and when he finishes. Coach Yoel Romero is becoming someone known for getting fights, not fighting much around 1 and 2, but getting it done in round 3. We've seen Thiago Santos get finished before. Romero has the punching power to do it. Give me Yoel Romero to win by knockout in round 3.
Real quick, as we get to the end of our very first episode of Betting the PFL, we're going to be here the entire season, and I do mean the entire season. I hate to put you on the spot, but these fighters are flying all the way to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a completely different time zone. Does it change how you handicap anything, or are these fighters just used to it?
You know what? If there was elevation involved and the fighters had an opportunity to pick and choose when they arrived, then yes. But here, it sounds like everyone's getting there around the same time, except for Al-Qatani, who lives there. I think each one of them are going to have enough time to really adjust in the time zones. I don't think there's going to be much of an advantage for anyone there. So for this particular event, not really factoring that into the handicapping.
I don't even want any of you to worry about it. We got you covered on Saturday, noon Eastern time, with the pre-fight show. Any of the odds that have changed, any of the fights, anything at all, we've got you covered. Then at 3 p.m. Eastern time, that's when the pay-per-view card starts. You don't want to miss out on any of it. Live on ESPN pay-per-view and live on DAZN pay-per-view. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern, the pay-per-view card starts. I could not be more excited. Let's get to Riyadh already. For Ian Parker, I am the coach on our entire production team. We'll see you Saturday for PFL against Bellator. History in the making.